This is Assembly Open Door, a series of weekly reports from 99th District Assemblyman Greg Ball. Mr. Ball will keep his constituents informed with news from the state legislature of interest to Putnam, Dutchess, and Westchester counties. I'm Ted Flint, Assemblyman Ball. Nice to have you.
Ted, pleasure to be here.
In studio, let's talk about ethics reform. The Assembly voted to override the governor's veto of ethics legislation. The vote was 134-2.
Absolutely, and look, was it a good start? Sure, it was a good start, but it was also a hell of a finish. And what I voted for it because it was a good start. Mm-hmm. But the unfortunate reality is you also saw the death of anything serious ethics reform coming down the pike. Because at the end of the day, the good government groups decided that they would stand next to the emperor, and by the emperor I mean the 800-pound gorilla Sheldon Silver. The emperor decided to throw them a few crumbs, and they got all giddy, got in front of the TV cameras, and passed an ethics bill that doesn't go after outside income. It does nothing about redistricting. It does nothing about term limits. And it does nothing about the attorney-client privilege in the state of New York that allows legislators, who are attorneys, to shift millions and millions of dollars around and shield themselves behind that privilege. And private enterprise does the same thing. This piece of legislation only affects consultants. So you have the huge Sheldon Silver loophole, which allows him to be on the back of the trial attorneys in the state of New York. And this isn't the vast majority of assemblymen and senators that are inherently corrupt. There's a sizable minority, and unfortunately, this ethics bill does nothing to tend to that reality.
The Senate failed to override the veto. I mean, so where do we go with this? I mean, back to the drawing board, or
hopefully we'll see an outcry from taxpayers and constituents in the state of New York, and put a little bit of heat on these good government groups that are fighting within their interests. If you're a good government group and you're standing on behind a podium with Sheldon Silver, you got to be like, damn, what's he doing here? Because believe me, if he's working with you to pass an ethics bill, it's not because he believes it's going to make his life harder. It's not because he believes it's going to make it easier for a challenger to challenge him. It's because that ethics bill evidently supports two things: incumbency and incompetency. So wake up.
All right, on to the MTA Payroll Tax.
We got good news that the governor has put together a proposal that will put the burden where it should be on New York City, and actually cut the Hudson Valley's burden in half. Now, I hope that means that not only the governor but the legislature have heard our message that we are on the verge of a formalized tax revolt. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. The golden goose, which is taxpayers in the Hudson Valley, has laid the last egg, and we're done. That said, I'm going to continue to fight to repeal this MTA payroll tax. We're going to have our symbolic movement on April 15th, where we have a symbolic check, which will be a historic gesture by those affected by the MTA payroll tax, to have a Tea Party tax revolt in Carmel, Putnam County Historic Courthouse.
I mean, it's not too unreasonable to suggest that the people using the MTA, the majority of it, should pay the majority of the freight.
You would hope. I mean, here we are in the Hudson Valley. We get a whopper of a bill. We only have a quarter of a vote. We're already hemorrhaging jobs. And at the end of the day, the legislature and governor need to wake up. They need to realize that they tax and spend their way into this hole. They cannot tax and spend their way out.
April 15th coincides with the
April
IRS
15th,
and tax day and all that.
April, lock and load, April 15th. Bring your pitchfork. Come to the Putnam County Historic Courthouse in Carmel. We're asking all taxpayers, all patriots throughout the Hudson Valley to come on that day to join our tax revolt. And specifically, they can go to my website, which is www.auditthemta.com. And individuals who are affected by the MTA payroll tax can print out a pseudo MTA payroll tax check, fill that out, and bring that in a symbol of protest on April 15th. We're going to add it all up and show exactly what the impact is, the financial impact of that payroll tax to the Hudson Valley, and the jobs that should have and could have been created had we not been given that money to Albany.
And one more time, that website?
AuditTheMTA.com. That's AuditTheMTA.com.
You've been listening to Assembly Open Door with 99th District Assemblyman Greg Ball. You may write Assemblyman Ball at 2392 Route 6, Brewster, zip 10509.
Got it right this time.